Five track releases. Will it be five bangers? It's a Punk and Jeffy track, so there's a 99.9% chance that the answer to that question is yes. Welcome, everybody, to The Outpost. This is, as I said, Punk and Jeffy's newest release in MX Bikes, and it is his fifth track ever created. It is a little bit on the smaller side today. It's not quite to the scale of his previous ones, like Across the Sea and the OA. However, it's got just his same typical style, you know. He loves a bit of sound. Like these textures are synonymous with Punk and Jeffy's tracks nowadays. Same sort of like shrubbery and foliage off in the distance as well. We're more of like a deserted sort of landscape here. And this track is taken from a real track, but then tweaked slightly to work in MX Bikes. And there are two versions of this. There is a prepped version and a non-prepped version. Now, as you can see, I am on the non-prepped version today, so we've got some ruts in here, we've got some bumps as well. I imagine it's all going to be sand traction. Have not set tyres on the track yet, so we'll wait and see about that. But I feel like he's getting a bit of a reputation now with these sort of tracks, and tracks that the community seems to really, really enjoy. And I think I saw him say himself, or he commented somewhere, saying that he never ever plans on charging for his tracks. It is just a hobby that he really, really enjoys doing. So an absolute godsend for the community, really, really is. So we're going to spin some laps again and see how it goes. I'll be honest, I might have overdone it a bit today. I'm still on the 450 because I can't get enough of this Great Britain skin that I'm rocking on the KTM here. But the jumps on this track look a little bit on the smaller side. So I'm hoping it's not too bad. And I'm just going to rock my normal outdoors suspension, so it should handle these bumps absolutely fine. So we shall spin some laps and have a good time and see how it rides. So starting off on the start straight right here, it looks to be 40 gates. It's a very, very wide start. Nice, smooth, flat start. Coming over to the left here. And honestly, all of the tracks that he's released, I think so, his first track was a first track, you know. It was really fun and enjoyable. It was a soft soil traction track with a lot of rough to it, some big old jumps. And then from that point onwards, he then made Cairo, the OA, Across the Sea, and now the Outpost, which have all been kind of like rolling sand tracks. And he just seems to have a real knack for it. I imagine it's quite difficult to make sand tracks really nice and flowy with rollers and bumps you can jump your way through, but I don't know how he does it. Like, really, really good. I imagine it must take a hell of a lot of testing. Either that, or he just kind of knows what he's doing at this point. He knows the scaling that all the jumps should be. This track is fully sand as well. I can hear it on the tyres. You can hear the sand traction underneath you. So maybe the 450 won't be as overkill as I thought, because the sand does do a pretty good job of slowing you down. Lap times, I think, are going to be incredibly small. Is this the finish jump? This is the finish jump. So not an ideal track for any elimination streams, for example, but for just some general public lobbies where you do, you know, like some 3 lappers, maybe up to 5 lappers maximum, could be a really, really good shout. I'm going to guess lap times, you might even be able to get like a sub-minute, maybe. Looking at the size of the map on the right-hand side, it's possible. And I know because people like these tracks so much, you do get a lot of people playing them, and I don't think grinding them is the right word, but playing them a lot because they enjoy them, then leading to pretty damn quick lap times. So if I don't manage to get underneath a minute, I imagine someone will. I'm trying to go as fast as possible as I can right now to try and get to that minute mark. Just going to take some split lanes here. Up and off the track we go. Try and tiptoe my way back on. Thank you. What he does do a very good job at is making some alternative lines. Even if it doesn't look like there's alternative lines at first, the way that he builds up the jumps on some sides compared to others will then enable you to jump like a sand roller further than you normally would, and then go into a completely alternating rhythm. We've got some ruts on the jump face as well, and whilst the bumps are there and they are existing, it doesn't feel overwhelming at all. The bumps are very, I won't say mellow, they're very, very doable. I feel like my suspension that I run is slightly on the stiffer side anyway, so if you had a soft suspension, you would probably have an easier time, an even easier time than I am around here. So my lap time, I didn't set the world on fire by any means. I probably lost maybe a second, maybe 2 seconds on my one little off-track excursion on that lap. It was a 109.5. So actually, kind of backtracking now on what I said, to get another 9.5 seconds off of that, you're going to have to be moving some booty cheeks, or you just get all the lines dialed. I will try my best to try and improve lap on lap, but People have commented before, to be fair. Even I had a video on, I think it was the MXS Live Compounds, which was the Kevin Fuela and Reapdoc collab that came out the other day. Kevin commented on it, and he was basically just like, I don't know how you play the game and talk at the same time. And it is a skill that you learn at the end of the day, and I promise you, when I sit here and chill in testing, like by myself, for example, and I'm not talking and I'm not trying to record a video at the same time, I usually do tend to go quite a bit faster. The amount of times I'll record a video on a track, stop recording, and then just play the track again for a bit of fun after the fact, and this game's physics every single day still seem to really, really impress me. But yeah, just saying, when I play solo without having the camera on or trying to talk at the same time, I usually do go a bit faster than when I'm trying to do this instead. I was thinking about this the other day, basically the day after the Nations qualifiers, is I can be sitting there in testing on stream, trying to warm up before a race starts or trying to learn a track for the first time if it is a new track, and I can just not put a lap together, just crash time and time and time and time again. For whatever reason, as soon as the gate drops, something just switches, and I guess lock in is just the right word, and I manage to somehow go faster than I am when I'm riding around in testing, and more consistently, and I just get into this flow, even while talking a little bit here and there. Obviously it does help when you go quiet during those things, but yeah, I don't know what it is. I would like to say that I am just a racer. I'm not a qualifier by any means. I'm not ideal at hot laps at all, but yeah, when we get into like a racing scenario, I don't know what it is, but I just always seem to do quite well. So let's see if we can improve this lap time then. I'm going to try and take as many outsides as humanly possible, and I'm going to try not to jump off the track as well. I'm going to try and take the outside here. This could be a mistake, because this outside looks a little bit slower. Was not terrible. We're going to jump to the inside here. Little things like that. You see that I cased that little roller on the inside. Someone will be able to send that downside that roller and really slot into the rut nicely and keep all of that momentum going forwards. I'll try tripling out of here. Lovely. And we're going to hit this bad boy, send it to this roller. Try and hook this on the inside, triple out. There's a chance my lap might not count, depending on if I get lucky or not, on where he's placed his timing gates. That is a shame. I think I was 2 seconds up there. The berm, I'm going to call them berms, the banking, the outsides going into some of these corners, they look quite built up. As you're turning the bike into them, you realise they're a little bit shallower than they first appear, so the bike doesn't get cranked over or locked into it as much as you originally think. So that one corner has been giving me grief. I need to make a proper mental note of that to actually hit it right next lap, because I was 2 seconds up. So I was looking at like a 10, kind of a 107-ish for that lap, ideally. Out front end's gone again, thank you, and the bike's gone absolutely flying into the abyss. Am I setting a track marker down to try and hot lap in a normal just track showcase video? You're damn right I am. This isn't going to count actually, because I didn't hit the first timing gate, so we're going to go back to the pits. We're going to take... I did not have a setup on at all. Okay, I have a setup on now. We're going to take some fuel out. Well, I might go a little bit faster now. The bike might turn a bit better. That's bad, isn't it? I didn't even realise I didn't have a setup on at all. Oh, damn it. Right, let's try this out. And I do have a road on. It's only set to 0.8, so it shouldn't really affect me at all. It's more for a visual thing than anything else. So let's see how this goes. I want to try and get stopped on this inside. Lovely. Stayed in the high part of that rut there. So if I went lower, if I turned tighter in that corner, I would have hit more of the bumps, which would have then just meant the bike would have been unsettled more. So I tried to stay as high in the rut as I possibly could do, and I've missed this inside now. That is a shame. I'm just going to try doubling out. Did lose a bit of time. Let's try and downside this single now. Over jumped it a bit, but that's not too bad. Step over this. Hug this inside. That was a little bump there that I tried planting my front wheel over, and that done okay too. We're going to take off on this right-hand side to triple out the corner. And then we want to try and apex this corner as much as we can. We're going to triple round. Oh, came up a little bit short on it. Try and stay within track limits this time. Lovely. I'm free to see that I'm 3 seconds up now. Send this bad boy. I want to make the inside in this turn. I think the inside there is going to be much quicker than the outside that I'm going to, and it will hold me a lot better as well. Undecided on if outside or inside there would be faster, because the rut does look quite big to hold you on the inside, but it depends, do you get as good of a slingshot for the straight. So that was a 104.8. And I'll be honest, I think you are going to have an absolute perfection of a lap to try and get underneath a minute around here. Because that wasn't a terrible lap, of course, but 1 or 2 mistakes that we can try and tidy up. Let's try and get to the inside here. Nice, that was quicker. Gained 0.7 on that alone. Downside that roller. Rail this, step up and over. I wonder, I don't actually know which. I feel like that's the fastest way around there. It feels pretty damn quick. I feel like the alternative way would lead me to the outside in the corner afterwards, which we don't really want. Don't want to come up short on here this time. Lovely. Hook this inside, step up to the top. Nice. Now I want to try and go to the inside. Oh, I've gone too far inside. This lap might not count. That might count as cut, so I might try pushing it a little bit too far there. Rail this inside before the finish. So it was faster going in, but slower coming out, because you didn't get as much of a drive. So there you go, so 103.6. Of course, there are many, many people that will probably be able to beat that lap time around here. But I'm quite happy with it. That's not too shabby at all. So when I looked at the map at the start, it looked around a minute lap time, maybe a little bit less. It was a little bit more than that, and I think that is purely on the basis of it being a sand track, it being a little bit whooped out, some of the corners doing a good job of slowing you down, and overall, really fun track, really, really flowy, and I think Punker Jeffy has... Is niche the right word to use? I don't feel like saying he's found his niche is the right term, but he's found his style. Style's probably a better word. He's found what works for him, he's found something that he's very, very good at making and can replicate time and time again. And any time now that I load up MXB mods and I see a track with like a whitish sand with a slightly darker groove through the middle that looks like it's been ridden on, with some green bushes here and there looking like a little bit deserted, I know it's going to be a Punker Jeffy track, and I know that it's going to get a download, the most important thing. And we've been getting very, very blessed over the last week with so many tracks being uploaded to both MXB mods and to the MX Bike shop. Makes my job easy, of course, just getting to hop on the game and play a bunch of tracks throughout the day and record some videos. I do need to get ahead of things because I am going to be travelling to Winchester, Matterley Basin, for the MX of Nations in real life to go and watch that. I'm going to travel on Thursday, so I'm going back to my parents' place. And then meeting up with Charlie, and then we'll go together on the Friday. So a little bit of travelling my end, so I do need to probably get ahead by like 4, maybe 5 videos. We shall see how that goes, see what content comes your way. And if any of you are going to be there, if any of you are going, whether you're from the UK or for some reason you're travelling to the UK to watch a bit of motocross, and you do see me by all means, feel free to say hello. I don't mind talking to people until I run out of things to say and then get socially awkward. So yeah, look forward to meeting some people there. Hope it's going to be a good weekend. There's a bit of rain forecasted on the Sunday, I think. We'll see if that changes as the week progresses. But it's the UK at the end of the day. It's going to rain. So going to take a lot of pairs of socks. Going to take an umbrella. Try and take some waterproofs if possible as well. Just kind of prepare for the worst case scenario. And it should be a fun weekend with the boys, regardless. So thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much, Jeffy, for creating the track as well. Really, really good fun. 5th track, 5th banger. And if you did like, obviously leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, all that lovely YouTube stuff. Have a lovely rest of the day, wherever you're up to, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.
Lynn's in the zone, never backing down. Riding MX bikes, he's the talk of the town. 2022 champ with a YouTube crown. His game is tight, no signs of slowing down. Late nights, bright lights, he's chasing that fame in the digital arena. Writing his name, she's a 10 out of 10. Supporting his lane, hairline might receive, but his passion's the same.